Hello viewers and welcome to another Dirt 3 video. Today it's our first look at the new Monte Carlo DLC. I had a chat with the game designer Paul Coleman. You can see a little bit of footage here of him having a quick go at the bobsled run. Very competitive in the office amongst the games developers and PR guys. But I had a chat with him just a little bit about the DLC, some of the cars and some of what you can expect. Check this out.
Okay, Paul, thanks for sparing the time today. I suppose first I'd like to recap a little bit on Dirt 3, now it's out, the feedback that you've had from the community of the positives and negatives or whatever. What kind of feedback have you been getting on Dirt 3 since it's been released?
I'd say overall it's generally been very encouraging. We're happy that people are glad that we put more rally in there. We're also pleasantly surprised by the way people have responded to Gymkhana. Admitted it's not everyone's cup of tea, but the people that are enjoying it and are really getting into it have got a lot of positive things to say about it, so I think it's something we can definitely build on in the future. Obviously locations, we thought we had a bit more variety in there. We thought we were going back to the root of rally, but it's still not enough for some people, so we're definitely looking at ways to increase on locations maybe in the future. But I think for what we set out to do for Dirt 3 and the way we've gone about it, the way that the game's been received has been absolutely perfect.
Now, we've got our first DLC, Monte Carlo. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the great thing about DLC is you know that the fans of the series are going to be buying it. It's not something that you have to worry about people just picking up off the shelf and then finding it is perhaps too challenging for them. So with Monte Carlo, the first thing we did was actually ramp up the difficulty. We know that the roads are tight and twisty. We know that they're more challenging by their very nature. So we were able to represent that accurately within that DLC pack. So when you're driving past the Col de Torini or down these narrow, twisty mountain stages, you're really going to feel that sense of danger. You've got a rock face on one side, a small brick wall and a sheer drop on the left-hand side, and you're going to really feel the pace of the car through those narrow stages.
Now, the first thing that came to me was the change in grip from the top to the bottom. You've got this ice and snow at the top, and then that dissolves into a tarmac at the bottom. It's great, it adds lots of additional challenges. Talk to me a little bit about the new cars and perhaps their handling and their characteristics on these kind of surfaces as well.
Yeah, so the first car pack that's out is it's got the Bmw M3 Rally in it, which is a great tarmac car. If you've ever seen the videos of the BMW racing around the Isle of Man, absolutely fantastic thing to check out on YouTube. So it's really good on tarmac, but it's a really stable car. It's a real driver's car. It's probably more about the sort of grip angle than hanging the back end out, but you'll find that you get really good performance from keeping it tidy, and it is a nice car to keep tidy. It's not trying to get leery like perhaps the Opel Manta does. We've also got the Lancia Delta S4, which is obviously one of the most iconic Group B rally cars of its time. Engine in the middle, supercharged and turbocharged, so it's an absolute brute of a car. Again, fantastic on tarmac stages. It's a little bit leery on gravel, but if you can get to grips with it, you'll definitely find good success from that car.
Actually, I'll just say just one word on the Lancia. I did find it had a little bit of understeer to it. You do need to push to get the back end out sometimes.
Absolutely, yeah. You need to make sure that the back end's already unsettled before you go into a corner. It's well worth doing Scandinavian flicks with it and really unsettling it on the way in. You're right, it does understeer quite a lot, but the sheer power of it allows you to push the oversteer when you really need to. So yeah, in terms of the other cars, we've got a new Trailblazer vehicle, which is the Chevrolet Camaro. So it's not what people might normally expect to see as a Trailblazer vehicle, but we wanted to go a little bit left field with it. I think it's a nice car, it's very stable. People are saying that it's very quick, but I think it's purely because it's easier to drive. If you actually look at a competent driver driving, for example, a Reese Millen car, against the Camaro, they're going to get similar times, but the Reese Millen is a little bit more lively. You don't want to go running wide or anything, because that will start kicking up on the edges of the track, certainly on a track like Kenya. For Gymkhana, we've got Tanner Faust Scion TC. Now, Tanner no longer competes in the Drift Championship out in America, but the Scion is a great car. It's Toyota. It's got rear-wheel drive, and it's also got a NASCAR V8 engine in it, so it sounds absolutely fantastic. And again, great new car for Gymkhana, having that rear-wheel drive angle in there. Last but not least, we've got the Ford Focus Rallycross car, which is based on Sverre Isaacson's championship-winning car from the European Rallycross Championship. Again, fantastic car, really grippy, nice to take around the Rallycross tracks, and just offers another angle to that car class.
So all these new cars, different handling characteristics. Do you think any of them are going to make a significant impact on leaderboards?
We haven't got a Dallenbach, if that's what you're asking. We obviously had this problem in Dirt 2, where if you went into a Trailblazer event, the Dallenbach was top of the leaderboards, everybody was using the Dallenbach, and it kind of ruined the online experience. People were leaving the game as soon as they got into a Trailblazer event. We've made sure that's not the case. I think there's definitely certain tracks where those cars will shine through. A good example is the Lancia Delta S4 on Monaco head-to-head, because of the tight and twisty tarmac nature of that track. You really can use the characteristics of the car to your advantage and throw the car through those narrow, tight corners, but nothing really will obliterate every leaderboard in every location. So yeah, we're happy with the way that the cars have been balanced into the game. We're not cynical enough to offer DLC cars that are all obviously quicker, because that would just be a cheap shot. So there are advantages to those cars, but they're not just going to wipe the floor with everything.
Well, Paul, thanks for that. I look forward to testing them myself, and thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure.
Okay, some tidbits of information there. I'll be putting up a couple of more videos sort of late in the next day or so. You're going to be seeing a no comment run, where I just let the game speak for itself, and a run where I take it through and give you my impressions. The new DLC is actually more challenging, slightly tighter, a lot more fun, very fast. I like it actually. I like the change in the grip levels in the many different textures. I mean, yes, we've had gravel and tarmac, but the way it sort of flows from a very slippy road to a very grippy road is quite nice. I like that in some of the stages, and I've got to test out some of the cars as well in bits and pieces. I don't know if there'll be more DLC for Dirt 3. I certainly hope so. But that's it for now, and more coverage when we get it.